guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Molly and today I'm going to be doing my summer TBR video. So these are going to be all the books I want to read this summer. I wasn't originally going to be doing a summer TBR or like a summer TBR video, but I saw other people like talking about it, other people kind of like doing one. I was like, you know what, that would be fun. I did a fall TBR. I don't think I did a video for it, but I had a TBR for the fall. And I honestly really enjoyed it. I'm one of those really weird people that love like checking things off a list. And I was planning on reading a lot of these books this summer anyways. So kind of like getting to do both at the same time sounds so fun. So also be a good video for like summer recs. If y'all want to know actual like my summer recommendations, not just books I want to read this summer, let me know. I can do a video on that. I think I might do a layout anyways on Instagram for it, like a video on TikTok or something, but if you want to see that on here too, I will. But let's just get into it. I have a lot of different books I want to read this summer, so let's just get into it. First, we're going to be talking about the queen of the beach read, Elin Hilderbrand. I recently have been getting really into Elin Hilderbrand books. I love them, and they're based in Nantucket. They are written by Elin Hilderbrand, who is, I think she's in her 60s, but she is a well tried and true romance author. She has over, I think, 30 books published, and her most famous books are the ones that she writes based on Nantucket. And I've read quite a few of hers recently. And so the first one on my TBR is The Rumor. This is one of her older ones. Oh, it has a preview of her new book in there. Cool. She also has a book coming out this summer called Swan Song, but I put this one on my TBR. This is like one that I own that I bought. I can't really remember what this one is about. This is about Madeline and Grace. They're best friends and they're kind of like the envy of Nantucket. They have like perfect marriages, and they end up getting into like situations end up happening, and there's kind of like rumors about their marriages and their lives and their relationships, and they kind of like cultivate on the island, and then they end up kind of like affecting what's going on in both of their lives and kind of like their friendship. And yeah, so that's my first book. Next, I have Summer of 69, and like the title says, this is based in the Summer of 69. It's just like everything that happens that summer, and then also it follows a family, the Levin family, and they normally go to Nantucket every single summer for like a summer vacation, and they stay in one of their grandmother's beach houses, yeah, their historic home in downtown Nantucket. But this summer, multiple members of the family for some reason are in like different places, and different things are happening, and like it's told. This is one thing I love from Elin Hilderbrand's books. Her books are always told in like multiple different perspectives, and you always get to like know the different things that are going on, even though the other characters don't know. You kind of get to like be the overarching like seeing eye. You get to kind of see everything that's happening. And yeah, this is also one of her only books that has a matte cover. All of her others are like glossy, and this one's like matte. Next we have, this is one of her like most recent reads. I think this came out last summer. This is The 5-Star Weekend, and this is about Hollis Shaw, and she is a food blogger, and she recently, oh yeah, her husband recently like dies in a car accident, and so she ends up having like a 5-star weekend, which apparently is like a thing, I don't know, and it's kind of just a lot of like gossip. And another thing with Elin Hilderbrand books, there's always shit always goes down, somebody always cheats on somebody, stuff always happens, and so this is another one of my beach reads for this summer. Next, we have the other queen of beach reads, Mary Kay Andrews. She's kind of like similar to Elin Hilderbrand. She writes kind of like similar reads. So we have The Homewreckers. This is based in Savannah, Georgia. And this woman who, Hattie Kavanaugh, she is a very famous restoration person, or like she restores historic homes, and she ends up going home to her hometown of Savannah, Georgia, and she is in this reality TV show called The Homewreckers. And I think it's like her and her co-star or something. They have like a situation happens with them. Honestly, I don't know that much about this one. I just kind of picked it up because the cover was cute and the thing on the back looked very promising. Next we have Hello Summer. This is also takes place in Savannah, I think. I don't know. Silver Bay Beacon. Okay, yeah, and then there ends up being like a murder, and there's like different stuff happens. Again, like an Ellen Hildebrand book, there's just like a lot going on. Next, we have The Invisible Husband of Frick Island. I saw this on Amazon. I haven't seen anyone talk about this, but this is basically about Piper Parrish. Okay, so she lives on an island smack in the middle of the Chesapeake Bay. It's nearly perfect, but her husband is dead and everyone is kind of pretending that he's still real. And this journalist, I think, so basically her husband dies in, like, he was like a crab ship guy, I don't know, like a crab sailor or something, and he ends up dying on his boat. And so Piper, instead of kind of like moving on and grieving, she ends up just kind of like pretending that he's still alive and that he's still there, and she kind of goes on with the rest of her life. And then Andrew, he's a journalist career, ends up going downhill, so goes to Frick Island to like cover their cakewalk fundraiser, but he ends up meeting Piper, and I think he ends up kind of like writing about the situation with her husband. So this just looked so interesting and very like heartwarming. I'm really into like literary fiction books that kind of like tell like a sweet story, so this kind of was right up my alley. I feel like it's so funny. I'm putting these on my TBR, but I really have like no idea anything about them. Sometimes when I buy books, I definitely A, judge them by the cover, and B, like the very like quick synopsis that I saw on like a blog from like 3 years ago, because I was looking at like beach reads, and I saw that one. I was like, oh yeah, okay, I'm gonna buy it. And then I really don't know that much about it, but it sounds really good. This one is 500 Miles from You, and this is about two people. One of them lives in London, her name is Lissa, and then the man, Cormac, he lives in a small town in Scotland, and they end up switching places. It's kind of like the holiday swap, is that what it's called? I think the house swap or something like that. It's kind of that, but they both have kind of gone through things, and so they end up communicating with each other like through mail, and it's a romance and sounds really cute. And this isn't like technically like a summer read, but it's a cute romance, and the backdrop is like London and Scotland, and I'm from America, so like vacation-y, I don't know. That's kind of like how I'm saying that. Again, I don't think this is a summer read, but airport, plane, summer, vacation. A lot of these are very like a big stretch into being a summer read, but some of these are like actual summer reads. This is Fly With Me by Andy Burke, and this is a sapphic romance. This is starring Olive and Stella, and Olive so Olive ends up going viral because a video of her saving someone's life like goes viral, and Stella is the PR agent for a even know. What is she the PR agent for? Oh, her airline. She works for an airline. And so she ends up fake dating Olivia to kind of get like sales come up because Olivia's like this big like superstar now. And it just sounded really cute, and the cover is adorable. I love the cover. Also, I don't really read a lot of sapphic romances, and the last one I did read I really enjoyed, so trying to like get myself back into that. Do I even have to explain? I've already read this. This is one of my favorite books ever. This is a 5-star read for me. But I have seen a lot of people do rereads of this book and like completely annotate it, and I kind of really want to do that. I have been on such an Emily Henry kick lately. I feel like everyone has like discovered her, and I reread Happy Place in April, and then I read Funny Story when that came out, and it was so fun rereading Happy Place, like going through all the emotions after the first time I read it. And I really want to reread this book. Honestly, one of the best things to do is like reread one of your favorite books, and that's what I've been doing a lot this year. I reread Binding and Keeping 13, and I reread Happy Place, and I'm gonna reread Beach Read because this was one of my favorite books when I read it, and I just want to reread it and have that experience again. So this is also going on the summer TBR. Next, we have Genuine Fraud by E. Lockhart. E. Lockhart is the author of We Were Liars, and I feel like not a lot of people talk about this one. I think this is a novella, low-key, because it's only like 230 pages, but this one is... Okay, so it's basically about this girl named Imogen, but her real name... Okay, so it's about this girl named Imogen, and she is basically pretending to be her best friend Jules, and Jules is like the heiress of this very expensive, very successful man who owns like this giant empire, and his family has a lot of money, and Imogen is pretending to be Jules, and she is staying in, I think, Cancun. Oh no, Cabo San Lucas, Mexico, and she's kind of like pretending to be Imogen, and she's staying in this resort, and she's kind of like pretending to be her. But then you kind of get like the rewind of what happened, why she's at the point that she is, and there's like a lot of like different secrets and different things, and Imogen is lying. And I loved We Were Liars. I know it's kind of like a like some people really liked it, some people didn't. I loved We Were Liars. I loved the kind of like unreliable narrator and kind of like the perspective of, oh, they're lying to you, like are they lying, what are they telling the truth about, blah, blah, whatever. So yeah, I actually already started this one, and then I kind of like soft DNF'd it a couple months ago, so hopefully I pick it up again. It's also so short, and I feel like in the summer sometimes that's what I need, because I'm going to be so busy this summer too. I'm working 2 jobs and I'm doing classes online, so short books for the win. Next, again, this is really not a summer read at all. The only thing is this does take place during the summer, but this is Deadly Little Scandals. This is the second book in the Debutante series. And I also have already started this and kind of soft DNF'd it just because I wasn't at the point where I wanted to read it. But I think I want to either read it this summer or I'm going to just not read it because it's been on my TBR for way too long. So this is kind of our last chance, but also I do really want to read it. I just need to find like a good time to read it. But yeah. Not last but not least, I have one that's not on here because it hasn't come out yet, so we'll talk about that. But last but not least, we have Summer Sisters by Judy Blume. Destiny Sidwell read this last year, and I remember she like talked very highly about it. She said she really liked it. This is Victoria and Caitlin. They're both best friends, and they meet in middle school, and they kind of become like best friends. And I think it's either Victoria, or no, Caitlin. Caitlin's family kind of has a lot of money, and she has an eccentric family, and they have a vacation home on Martha's Vineyard, And so she kind of takes Victoria to her family's vacation house every summer. And then flash forward to years later, and they're not really like as close as friends as they used to be. And Caitlin ends up getting married on Martha's Vineyard, and she's kind of like begging Victoria to come. And Victoria is kind of like, she doesn't want to come, but she also is kind of like wanting to say goodbye, because in her mind this is kind of going to be the last summer, because they're not little girls anymore. And this just sounded so good to me. I love girlhood books, and I feel like this is such a girlhood book. And the cover is also just so cool. It's like watercolor. I don't even know, but yeah. Also, Judy Blume. Why does that name sound so familiar? What was the books? Not Judy Blume, but Judy... I don't know. Anyways, that's all the books on my TBR. Actually, one more. Daydream by Hannah Grace comes out in August. I just wanted to add it to my TBR because I'm so excited for that book, and that is a very, very highly anticipated read for me, and that's also on my yearly TBR, so I was just gonna add this to my summer TBR. But yeah, those are all the books I want to read this summer. Follow along to see if I actually read them, because I have a tendency to not follow TBRs at all. If you watch my monthly TBR videos and then you watch my monthly wrap-up videos, you are fully aware of this. I have commitment issues, I guess. I can't commit to things. So yeah. Okay, bye. Love y'all.